Hey everyone, Aaron here. We're going to do the next couple of videos on AI, artificial intelligence. It's what's on everybody's mind. But before we talk about the big techie side of things, before we talk about the deep fakes, before we talk about the ethics, the good and the bad, let's actually dive in and talk about what AI actually is. Let's go. Where exactly?
Continue straight for 3 miles. 3 miles, turn left onto Old Ferry Lane. Continue for 200 feet, continue straight.
Other side of what? Oh, no. It's a river. Are you kidding me? And there's a fish in here. Of course there is. This is absurd. Guess I'm swimming the rest of the way.
Okay, so none of that was real. Not the driving, not the crash, not my car, not even me. I was not even real. I was a computer-generated version of myself that I scanned and put into an app. None of any of that was real. And that's kind of the point of where we're going to jump in with what AI is. So in this video, let's talk about what AI is. But before we talk about what AI is, I think we need to talk about what AI isn't. It isn't thinking, it isn't alive, it isn't conscious, and it doesn't understand the world the way that we do. When we see AI on a phone or on a computer, we see that it looks smart and intelligent, and it even looks human-like. But underneath all of that is a computer model that is doing math, a lot of math. When you open up your calculator on your phone, perhaps, and you type in a very basic math question, like 2 plus 2, you're always going to get 4 every time, because math as we know it has rules. But the stuff that we ask AI aren't typical math problems, they're ideas and they're questions. Some of those questions might be, give me some ideas for dinner. It could be, why do teens do that thing with their eyebrows? Is my job safe? And is TikTok cool for people over 45? With all of those types of questions, there's no right or wrong answer. It's stuff that we are inquiring about. And ideas like that branch off into a whole bunch of potential different answers. They wander and they tangent, and they might even overlap. Some of them might even contradict each other. With math, there is one path to the answer. And with ideas, there are many paths. With math, there are always rules to get to the answer, but there could be different paths to get there. Things like 2 plus 2 equals 4. 2 times 2 equals 4. 3 plus 1 equals 4. So the answer is all the same, but with math, there's different paths that stay the same to get to that one answer. When we ask AI a question or ask AI to do something, it gets to that answer very similarly. It is scanning thousands and even million possibilities to get to that answer. And it's taking those thousands and millions of possibilities from people that have done it in the past. And it's using the best possible route to get to the answer. Now, think about Google Maps or any type of map app that you might use. I have Google Maps right here on my iPad. When you type in your destination, it will almost always show you different paths to get to the same destination, because there's more than one route. Google Maps will often show you maybe the fastest route or the shortest route or the route that has less traffic congestion. It will always pull different routes to get you to the destination that you're trying to get to. And I got news for you. If you use Google Maps, you're using AI. And just in the same way that Google Maps uses AI, when you use another form of AI, whether it's a chat bot or whether you're on the phone talking with a computer-generated voice, that AI works exactly the same way as Google Maps. Your comment or your question to that certain type of AI is comparing all the different types of routes that it knows based on what it's been trained to do. And then it gives you its best possible answer. Now here's the catch. Just because that AI is looking for the best possible answer might not be the most accurate answer. And that could be the problem with AI. Because it's looking for probability, it's looking for patterns, it's looking for calculations, and sometimes that answer doesn't line up with what you might want or that you might know. And so the question that you might have, or lots of people, is, well, what's powering AI? Well, let's take a look under the hood of AI, if you will. First thing that's powering AI are patterns. AI has been trained and has been uploaded with a ton of human writings and human history. And it begins to almost learn how we as humans learn and speak and communicate. Number two is training. People, real live human beings, train AI to do what it's meant to do. And those people have trained it what to look for and what to avoid. And the last thing that powers it is probability. When you ask it a question, it calculates an answer. And that answer is matched with a whole bunch of other patterns that it has noticed in the past. It's computing patterns and predictability at a very high rate of speed. And so here's the really important part, because you may have heard this word algorithm being used and kicked around in our modern day culture. And it's really algorithms that are powering AI. You see, AI didn't create itself. Humans created AI. And behind every AI system, whatever that is, whether it's Google Maps, whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's the chatbot that's on the phone when you call a restaurant or whatever, there's human beings behind that computer model that have engineered that model to do what they want it to do. And those engineers have created what's known as an algorithm for it to work on. At the very simple terms, an algorithm is just a set of instructions the computer is meant to follow. A lot of times, algorithms are created to tell the computer to predict what's going to happen next. For example, on your phone when you're texting or something like that, you might see a word pop up that phone is thinking that you're going to use. That's an algorithm that's saying, maybe this person is going to need this word in order to complete their sentence. Algorithms are programmed to avoid harmful content. And most importantly, algorithms are created so that whatever the person is doing with that computer, it stays within those boundaries of what they want that model to do. Don't do this, don't do this. Stay within the parameters. That's what an algorithm is designed to do. So AI really isn't doing what it wants it to do. It's doing what humans programmed it to do. And the humans that are telling it what to do, they are really good at math. Now here's the thing, those humans that are really good at math telling the algorithm and the computer what to do, they're gonna get smarter and they're gonna get better at creating an algorithm so that it tells the computer to function more efficiently. And AI is going to seem smarter and smarter and smarter. But it's really the people that are designing it that are getting better at coding that algorithm. Because like I said, AI is not alive. It's fueled by code that is taught to recognize patterns and training. All because math is behind it, and that math is going to get more efficient. Now here's the scary part, is AI feels very human. And it's created like that for a reason. AI is really meant to seem human so that humans can relate to it. But at the end of the day, AI doesn't understand us the way that we think it understands us. It's just recognizing patterns. It's just recognizing the things that we do that make us human. And it picks up on that. And it's not learning the way that we learn, but it's learning in the way of how we function. And it's basing that on millions and millions and millions of interactions that it has with people that are using it all the time. And so what AI does, and what that algorithm is taught and trained to do, is to copy how we interact with each other, and it's going to start to do the same. And it's only doing that because it's trained on patterns. And now here is the legitimate concern, is that there are a lot of people that have fear of AI. One of the big questions that lots of people, teenagers, adults, philosophers, political leaders, they have one question at the forefront of their mind, and it is this: what if AI begins to think on its own? Now, at this point in our culture and our history, we're not there. We may never get there. And that is a legitimate concern because we just don't know. But we have the parameters around AI. AI is nothing but a fancy calculator doing millions and millions of quantum computing based on millions and millions and millions of other human interactions. But instead of this algorithm that is created with numbers, instead of working solely with numbers, it's taking those numbers and giving answers to thoughts and questions that we have based on those past and previous patterns and conversations that it's had with lots of different people. In other words, it uses math to represent ideas. And so it takes everything that human beings have created and it turns that into a mathematical question and then calculates a response. And so the answer that you see or you get on the screen or on that automated phone robot that you often talk to is just math being translated back to you in a language that you speak. So AI isn't alive. It's not thinking, but it's using mathematical equations to give us an answer, just like a regular old calculator, to predict the best possible answer to what we're going to it for. In the next coming episodes, I want to look at what AI does well, what AI doesn't do well, how teenagers are using it and what they think about AI, and how you and I can tell if something is fake. So until then, our world is filled with AI. We can't escape it. It's all around us. How do we navigate AI? What do we do with it? How are teenagers processing it? We'll jump into that in another video. Until then.